I knew you were
Welcome
going
in,
to play that
everybody.
sound.
Exactly. Welcome in, everybody, to the Voice of College Football Miami post-game show. I don't really have a whole lot to say about that horrible loss to the what is the perennial powerhouse that is the Middle Tennessee Blue Raiders. We looked like absolute garbage today, and thank God Hurricane Central, he was at the game, so he got to actually witness it in real time. I'm really
I want my
jealous of
money
him.
back. I want it back. Give me my season ticket money back, please.
The money back. I don't know about the refunds. They might give you like I don't know, a nickel for what they're worth at
I'll
this
take it. I'll
point.
take whatever I can get. Jesus Christ.
Slim Shady Canes, what's up, my friend? What you think about this wonderful performance from the Miami Hurricanes?
Um, we lost.
Terribly.
I mean, just all around. That is an all around loss from coaching staff right on down to the effort of each and every player on the field.
I think we had like 8-10 plays inside the 10-yard. No, it was 8 plays inside the 10-yard lines. How many touchdowns did we get, Slim? I want to ask you that question. How many touchdowns did we get?
Well, let's see. Take one off because that was a kick return.
There was a point
So
where
that
we had
would have
8
been
plays inside
4.
the 10 and we had 0 touchdowns. There was a time where we had 8 plays inside the 10 and we had 0 touchdowns, something like that. Awful performance all around. You know,
I'm bringing up the stats right now.
I was there, and first defensive possession, they drive to midfield, they punt it. I was like, okay, settling in, but they made a few plays, got a few first downs, but we forced a punt. Good job. What happens? TVD forces a throw, and this is something we've been saying all year from TVD. He doesn't read defenses. He doesn't. He goes to his first read, and no matter what, it doesn't matter who's there. It doesn't matter if the receiver's triple covered. He's throwing it to there. And it's like, God damn it, man. How are you going to be a first-round quarterback? Because he has talent. We've seen it. We've seen him shred defenses. But how are you just going to always go to your first read no matter what? And he cost us because, I'm sorry, after those first 2 picks, that's where the game was lost because Middle Tennessee had all the momentum. The powerhouse, Middle Tennessee, a team we've never beaten. 0-3 against Middle Tennessee State. We've never beaten
them. that's a hard pill to swallow right there. Never beaten Middle Tennessee. And I mean,
I'm gonna push back on that a little bit. TBD doesn't go to his first read every time. And actually, as a matter of fact, that's what ends up leading to most of his sacks is him taking a little too long to go through his reads. Either that or should I say his offensive line not standing up. Now, they only got a couple of sacks today, but they were in his face almost every other play. Yes,
and the running game was awful running game. Awful. Going into the fourth quarter, we had 2 yards of carry.
Right. I'm looking at the stats right now.
What? So
we only got, out of 38 rushing attempts, we only came out with 60 yards of rushing, 1.6 yards average. So we let Middle Tennessee put up 507 yards on our defense, and we only put out 367 total yards.
And look, I'll say this too. Their offensive line, there was points where they gave up pressure and gave up sacks, especially after Jake came in and that one defensive sequence where we got like back-to-back sacks. But there's a lot of times they held their own. Middle Tennessee State's offensive line did a way better job than the University of Miami. A team where you have a coach that was a former offensive lineman and his focus is on the offensive line and powering in the trenches. And they did better in the trenches than we did.
Oh, they manhandled us. They manhandled us in the trenches. And, hats off to Middle Tennessee State. If any of them hear this, good job, guys. I mean, you went down there and just kicked our butts, and good for you. I mean, that's, hats off to you.
And I agree. Yes, it's Mario's specialty. But here's the problem with, at least in my opinion, of being that upset about it. How much do you expect him to fix in 9 months? Let's not forget, this was an offensive line that 3 years in a row gave up 50 sacks a year.
All right, I'm going to push back on that, though, because guess what? If you were to tell me TVD got a lot of pressure on him and the line broke down against Texas A&M, I'd be like, you know what? Yeah, first year, whatever. But this is Middle Tennessee. It doesn't matter if it's his first year. Their athletes should not be able to compete against our athletes. That's just a fact. It's a straight up fact.
No, they shouldn't. And that goes to the effort part in my opening statement. That's just lack of effort.
And
yeah, it was almost like we gave up. Like, I mean, right at the beginning, two interceptions, and everybody just gave up. there was nothing else the whole game until that little 4 minute stretch after they put Garcia in, and it seemed like it got a little bit of hype going. The defense picked up, and then after that, it was just back to the same garbage football.
Yeah. I mean, you had he obviously, you know, he's got a little bit of rapport with what was that, Brashard Smith, or was that Keyshawn?
I'm not sure which one.
It was one of the two. And
which play?
The couple that
which play
Jake was actually able to the couple that Jake was actually able to complete.
Oh,
when that
Keyshawn that was Keyshawn.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Great pass. Great freaking pass. That was a great pass. That one pass was great.
Yeah. But I mean, he had those few completions to Keyshawn, because that's who he seems to have a rapport with, and I mean, the offense sputtered right back out.
Right. It didn't work. And, you know, in Garcia, he came out looking good, but in the end, there really wasn't much difference there between. I mean, neither one of them looked good.
No, there really wasn't. Both of them came out of that with egg on their face. And Josh Gaddis, most of all.
Let's see. Let me go to the. So Slim, what do you think the problem is?
I think the guys still don't know the offense. I think this game is a combination of things. They still don't know the offense. I think the Texas A&M game took a lot of the wind out of the sails of the offense. I think it took a lot of their confidence, and not just Van Dyke's, but the receiving core as well.
Yeah, and Kyle, I can't remember anything good from this game either. He's just shaking his head. Imagine having to come up here and talk about it. There's not a lot. Sorry, Slim, you go on. I just had to get a laugh there.
No, you're good. Believe me, I'm having trouble with it too, because it all runs into a big mush bowl of whatever that was. I'm gonna be nice.
Yeah. And young Bucks. This one does hurt. I don't know what to say either. It's just kind of like, I mean, we just watched trash football. There's nothing you can. I mean, we got dominated on the line. They were basically just daring us to throw the football, in which we did. I mean, the drop passes, if they were on target, the people dropped them, and the other ones were. Yeah. I mean, the nicest passes that were thrown were to the other team. So I'm not exactly sure where.
As much as Texas A&M was about the drop passes, it was about 50-50 in this one between drop passes and Van Dyke just being off today.
Yeah, I agree. But now he was off last week too, so I don't know. You're starting to see a little bit of a pattern. That's getting a little bit scary.
Not really. I mean, you go back and look at last week at the Texas A&M game. He only had 4 or 5 passes that were off. That were just straight up incompletions you could put on him. He had another 2 or 3 that were thrown away. And the other 13 were drop passes. And when I say drop passes, I mean ball hits hands, ball hits face mask, ball hits numbers on your chest.
Right. Yeah, it was pretty pathetic. Hey, Slip, keep talking for a second. I got to close this back door, otherwise these hornets are going to fly in. I don't want to get stung. That would just end the night perfectly.
Yeah, wouldn't it though? I mean, I completely agree, Christian. I think both of them did look bad in the offense tonight. And, like I said, some of that is to do with they still don't know it, which I think was perfectly proven in that play where I think it was Parrish and Brinson ran into each other. Yeah, that's already made ESPN's highlight reel. I've gotten a notification on my ESPN app for that one.
All right, I'm back.
All right, cool. Yeah, that was horrible when they just ran into each other. I was like, what was that?
All right, so what I miss? What were you guys talking about?
Just how we're not exactly sure what to talk about. Like where do you start? What?
Okay, I have a few things I want to point out. Being there live. Good. Okay. Last week we were talking up DJ in the corners, how they held up against that athletic wide receiver core from Texas A&M. I don't know what the hell happened this week because you give up an 89-yard touchdown, a 99-yard touchdown, and a 71-yard touchdown. James Williams, terrible angles on his touchdowns. Not his touchdown, on his tackles. Jesus Christ, I'm all over the place. James Williams, terrible tackling. The whole team, terrible tackling. Broyles Award winner, Josh Gaddis. What are you doing? They're stacking the box with 11 guys, and you're running it straight up the middle with Henry Parrish and Jalen Knighton. Even Thad's a big body guy, but he's not going to break through 11 guys. Terrible play calling. Terrible execution. No motivation whatsoever from anyone on this team. Before the game, I was looking at the Middle Tennessee State sideline because, I sit behind them. And, they were up, jumping up and down, trying to get each other hype, but I didn't think anything of it. But now I look at it, and the Miami sideline, they looked flat. Mario Cristobal, before coming in, said, we will never have a performance where this team doesn't come out ready. Well, guess what, buddy? It's game 4, and you had it. They came out flat. A disgusting performance from this team. I want a refund on my season tickets. I do. Because this is pathetic. It's absolutely pathetic.
Yeah. If we show up and play like this against North Carolina, isn't that our next game?
Yeah, no. Drake May is going to torch our ass.
Yeah, we'll get blown out.
No.
Maybe worse than
Josh Downs is going to have the game of his freaking life.
Drake May also got exposed today when he didn't play against a Sun Belt defense.
Yeah, I don't know. They've got a lot of stuff to fix in that locker room. I'm not sure out there on the field everywhere. I mean, there was I don't know if they were just hungover from losing, last week, but I mean, this was a bad performance.
Well, and people want to overlook that, and that's a real thing that happens to elite teams every year. Every year. And I know everybody's first reaction is to get in their feelings, and that's not how I do it. Is there plenty Josh Gaddis has got to fix? Yeah, but and I see it, in the comments section. Should have got this guy. Should have got that guy. Well, Mike Leach and Lane Kiffin are head coaches. They're not coming here to be an OC. And Josh Gaddis is the Broyles Award winner for the top coordinator in the country. So his resume speaks for itself. People need to stop with that. And as far as the team coming out flat, uninspired, whatever you want to call it, I mean, what do you want Mario to do? That is something that is 1,000% out of his control and only in the control of the players.
Yeah, thanks there, Central. I forgot to hit save on that score update at the end. So, yeah, we were scrolling the wrong score across the bottom. That's my bad.
No, yeah, I was looking at it, and I was like, oh, shit.
Yeah, that was still just Texas A&M. I forgot to hit save when I punched it in. But yeah, thanks for reminding me of that wonderful score. It was fun typing it in again. So where do we go from here? What's the
I don't know, going 500 in ACC play, just like the last 20 years. I guess that's where we go from here.
Yeah, I'm an eternal optimist. So, and I love my team. I'll never give up on them. But yeah, I can see that, at the beginning of the season, I said, if we went 9-3, I'd be, happy. It was an improvement. 8-4, I'd be, like I could stomach it, but I see more of the 7-5 or like Alabama can't. If this is how we're going to play, then, a 6-6 team. I could see that happening,
well, listen,
unless we turn something around.
And I have no doubt that they're going to, because number one, and this goes for every team in the country, you don't see the same team on the field week after week. I mean, that's just impossible, number one. And number two, it's more weeks to come of them still learning this offense, more weeks to come of wide receivers getting in sync with their quarterback.
Yeah. I mean, I'm, Slim, I'm a lot, you and I are a lot alike in the fact that, I mean, I don't put a lot of, I'm a realist when I look at this. So it's not, I wasn't expecting a lot. I mean, this is a hard loss to stomach. It's one thing to go out there and lose to, a North Carolina, ACC play, but to lose this game, yeah, it's pretty bad. But I agree with you. I mean, we could definitely come out next week and be a totally different team. We still got to keep looking for.
We have a bye
week. Hey, we won't lose next week.
Well, and here's the thing: there's a reason why we struggle in games like this. We struggle against App State. We've struggled in ACC play since we've been there. Absolutely zero consistency in the coaching staff. And I've been saying this on YouTube and live streams for over 5 years. Look at all the elite teams in the country. And what is the one similarity with all of them? Saban's been there for how long? Dabo's been there for how long? You don't have, and by the time Saban got to the point where he was constantly turning over coordinators, it was already a well-oiled machine by then. It was 2016 by the time all that started.
I mean, I'm not on a fire Mario train. That's not what I'm saying at all, or even like get rid of everyone. But like, man, like I don't care if you're a first-year head coach.
That's not what I'm saying.
No, but I know there's people that are going to say that, so I just want to address that.
Yeah. What I'm saying is this is the karma for 6 coaches in 18 years. This is the result of constant turnover, because nobody, not a single player on this team, has been in the same system, offense or defense, for more than 2 seasons. Nobody.
Yeah, that's a really good point.
And this is the result of it, unfortunately.
Yeah, I mean, he's playing. So let's address this. So TVD went out there. He did not look good, just like last week. They bring in Garcia. Everybody's hyped up. He looked good for a minute, but then he basically looked just the same as TVD looked out there, lost, missing it. There was no connection. Nobody was reading nobody was in sync. So is it, what's the issue there? Like, moving forward, who would you rather see start next week?
I think there's one constant there, and that's bad wide receiver play.
Yeah. I mean,
so which one would you rather see go out, or does it not make a difference in your opinion?
I feel like TVD's confidence is shot at this point. He did not look confident. He did not look comfortable. He hasn't looked comfortable all year. I don't know. I really don't know who we would go with.
I mean, last week all 3 of us agreed. TVD. Let's move forward with TVD. Let's stay with him. But I'm not afraid to change my mind on things. And at this point, I mean, I'm kind of looking at it like, maybe we should move forward with Garcia at this point. I don't know. I mean, it's hard to make, rash decisions right after you get your butts kicked by Middle Tennessee,
Right.
and decide what you really
in
think.
general, I had the same philosophy, and it's like many things. It's a very old school philosophy. Van Dyke hasn't done anything to lose the job, so it's still his, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah. Well,
comment.
just to play devil's advocate, he hasn't done anything to keep it either. So it's that's what I'm saying. I mean, I don't know which way I really lean on this. What were you saying about a comment there?
We should have tried and kept Rhett. We weren't going to keep Rhett. He accepted a head coaching job at SMU before Mario even came on. Like
that's something I've seen several times, and I'm like, Rhett Lashley's the head coach at SMU, and it, to people's point on wanting to fire Josh Gaddis already. Look at what Dan Enos just did today. He just gave the number 4 team in the country all they wanted, and everybody wanted him gone. I think people are just going to have to learn to take their medicine, and this is what you call a growing pain.
Yeah, I mean, that's all we can do. I mean, there's not really anything else to say about that. I mean, we just got to keep moving forward and hope that a different team shows up out there next week, and we, or not next week, but the week after, and we actually play like a football team again.
All this game film from last week, this week, I mean, that's all the ammunition Mario needs on the recruiting trail to get every 5-star wide receiver. He can tell them, come here, you'll play now. You can do better than this.
Yeah, we definitely do. And I know we've got some people out, don't we, on the wide receiver line? Are you good with those? Where are we sitting with that?
Or not Brinson.
Knighton.
Romello. Knighton's out, but George is out. Jacoby George. Somebody who I don't think got enough targets today and actually made some catches is Frank Ladson, and I don't know why they're not throwing the ball more his way.
He got targeted a lot early, but then near the end of the game, it just kind of wore off, and he was making a lot of good grabs. I was very surprised by that.
Yeah, he seems to do pretty good, but a lot of those people, I don't know what it is, but I mean, I feel like I could have caught half those passes. Throw it to me.
Not the one that TVD threw to Will Mallory in the end zone. That was a freaking rocket. Will Mallory had no shot at that ball. It was high and just way too fast.
And we got lucky on that call too.
I'm not
talking about the pass interference. I'm talking about early in the game, Tyler Van Dyke.
Oh,
yeah, I know what you're talking about. There was a little on it, but Mallory still should have come down with that.
Yeah, well, I'm not sure. I like this comment here, though. Stop with the excuses. I mean, we're not really making up any excuses. We're just saying what we saw. I don't know what, I'm not making up any excuses for losing that game. We got outplayed by Middle Tennessee. There's no other way of looking at that.
Oh my God, I hate that sentence was just spoken.
I know it was hard to come out. I'm gonna have to go brush my teeth now after this to get that out of my mouth. I need Will Smith to come slap me.
Well, I need a specific example of what an excuse is, because I haven't heard anybody make an excuse. I've heard people, like I said, say what they saw during the game and give their 2 cents on it. Try and find what little was good. Like I said, there was some good out of Frank Ladson. There was some good out of Keyshawn Smith with that 360 okey doke first down catch. I don't know what he was doing there, but okay.
Saying losing to Middle Tennessee State is a growing pain is making excuses. That's not an excuse.
No, what that is karma, and I specifically said that.
Yeah. No, I'm just repeating a comment that someone put here.
Yeah, no, I saw it.
Yeah, listen, I'm just reading
An
down some of these
excuse,
comments.
an excuse would be, hey, Kirby Smart went 7-6 at Georgia his first year. Nick Saban lost to UL Monroe. That would be an excuse. We're not saying that. It's unacceptable. No matter what, it's unacceptable. I
Right,
don't
we
care if
should have been
Manny
able to go
Diaz
out
was
there
still
with
here.
anyway, we should have been able to go out there with our second string and win this game. But instead, we
they absolutely
just
should have.
But we
And
didn't.
I think we've all been pretty clear on how much lack of effort there was on the players' part, and that's not on coaches. Only the players can control their effort.
Yeah, I don't really know. It seems like nobody's in sync out there, and that to me is somewhat of a coaching problem, though. Just not having and it's not really like a problem. Just something needs to be fixed. Something needs to. I'm not a football coach, so I'm not going to go out there and have any of the answers. But they got to get these people's heads together.
Well, and that's why I said what I did about all the vast majority of those offensive guys were all, except for the transfers, obviously, they were all in Rhett Lashley's system for 2 years. Well, now they're in a whole nother system, and Josh Gaddis does not run an offense like Rhett Lashley. He just doesn't. He's not, if he can help it, an air raid type of guy. I mean, he's been forced into that situation by lack of a run game and lack of production on the offensive line. But Josh Gaddis isn't a pass the ball 40, 50 times a game type of person. He's not a try and score in a minute and a half of game time type of offensive coordinator. It's not what he does.
Yeah, he runs kind of a pretty boring offense too.
He runs a balanced offense, and in a way it's smart too, because go back to when Stephen Morris was quarterback and Coley was the offensive coordinator. We were scoring quick, yes, and then putting a defense right back out on the field. So it's a way of saving your own defense and wearing out the opposing defense, which in general I don't have a problem with. You can point out dozens of examples of times when offensive coordinators refused to slow down the tempo of the game, and it cost them. So there definitely is a time and a place for it, and there's definitely a time and a place to speed up the game, and I don't think he does that either. Now,
Look,
and that I do think is a problem.
I think there's a sweet spot with tempo where at the beginning of last year, Rhett Lashley, he was just going too fast in the beginning of the year. He definitely fixed it near the end because, we were putting up points and having great offensive performances. But in the beginning of the year, we were just going way too fast. We weren't set, and we were making a lot of mistakes. And there's times this year where it just seems like we're going too slow, and TVD works best at that tempo. He works best at tempo. So we need to find that sweet spot in the middle.
I would agree with that.
Yeah.
I would
hey guys,
agree
give me like 30 seconds. I'll be right back.
All right.
Yeah. Directly to your point a few minutes ago of Van Dyke seeming uncomfortable, that very well may be it, is finding that sweet spot with tempo where he can be a little bit more comfortable in the offense.
Yeah, because if you're going too fast and you're scoring touchdowns in under 2 minutes, under a minute, under 3 minutes, your defense is going to be tired and you're going to get caught in a shootout. That's just how it's going to go. But with TVD, it seems like if you go too slow, he's just not comfortable with that. He likes to go a little bit fast and just get on the line, make the play, get on the line, make the play. That's where he seems comfortable. And the problem that I'm seeing is a lot of times we're running plays that doesn't cater to the talent that we have.
It really seems that way. And Josh Gaddis came in with a reputation of molding his offense to fit what he had, because that's what he did at Michigan. They didn't really have a very capable quarterback, but he definitely had mobility and was able to take off down the field, and they had an excellent run game. And he was able to mold his offense around that. So, I mean, maybe it's just going to take some time to iron things out.
I mean, yeah, and also, like, this is a good point in the chat. These are still Manny's players.
They are.
These are the same players that would come out last year for a game like this and just come out flat. Like Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech is awful. They're awful, and they put up 30 on us last year. 30. We came out flat against FSU, against North Carolina. So yeah, it's going to take time. And again, that's not an excuse. It's not. I'm not making excuses for this loss because, trust me, I was there. I saw it. There's no excuse for this. We just played terrible and we didn't show up to play. But then the same could be true that these are Manny's guys that didn't get up for this game, and they've shown a trend in the past that they don't get up for games. I'm sorry, that's just the facts.
Yeah, there's not really any I mean, I have no excuse to say for it. Like I said, we just got outplayed. We got outcoached. We got outplayed. Everything. I like Chris Black here. He's bring back the turnover chain.
Oh, that's not going to do anything, man.
I think he's joking. He's making a joke, I'm sure.
No, I think someone on like the ACC network or something said like that, something like that, or something on Twitter, like, bring out the turnover chain. These guys don't have any momentum. The turnover chain didn't do anything for us last year. What momentum did we ever gain out of the chain?
Yeah, the turnover chain actually worked against what like every year we progressively got less turnovers. Every year we had
it's like 2017, it's like we had like 30, 31 turnovers. Like, it was a big momentum thing. And then like 2018, it was like 27 turnovers. Still like a really good number, but then it was just until 11 like turnovers. We had 11 last year. 11 turnovers.
Yeah, I mean, you're just not going to have 25, 30 turnovers every year. That's just not going to happen.
No, yeah, that's an anomaly. It really is.
I love reading through the comments. So, because, like, everybody has, and I'm not pointing fingers or making fun of anybody, but everybody has like a different reason. I just go out there. It's not, like this person blame. Everybody's like all over the place, and that's emotions. That's everybody's emotions coming out. We just got. I'm not going to say it again because it was too painful to say the first time, but that game didn't turn out the way anybody expected, and that's very unfortunate. So everybody's up in their emotions right now. But in the end, we all got to look at it, and we all are Miami Hurricanes, and take the good with the bad. Unfortunately, the bad's all we get lately. But
and that's another reason I'm not in favor of changing everything. I mean, perfect example. Bryce Young, Heisman Trophy winner, has come out in games this year and look like doo-doo. And not a single thought has been popped into anybody's head about sticking Bryce Young on the bench. People have bad games. Is this an inopportune time for it? Absolutely. Do I think there's more than one factor to it? Yeah, absolutely. I think there is an element of Texas A&M beating us twice in this game. Because, like I said earlier, I think that game cost the offense as a whole a lot of its confidence. And that's on the coaches to fix that.
Yeah, and that is on the coaches. That's their job at this point. They got to get in there and keep these guys positive.
And that's not just coaches leading up to the game. That's also play calling during the game. You start the game off with high percentage throws. Dink and dunk it to get your offense going. Get some completions under your belt. You're making, and once you have completions, then they're not stacking 9 in the box anymore. So that also opens up your run game. And if I were to put something on Josh Gaddis, I think he didn't set up his game plan for this game to help rebuild the confidence of the offense.
I mean, the first play was a little dink and dunk pass to Mallory, but TVD just forced it. Like, that's what the first play on offense was. A little Mallory was running a short little out route, and TVD just forced the pass.
Well, the first one I missed. I saw the second pass that was an interception.
No. if you looked at it, TBD's in shotgun. He snaps the ball, and he immediately, his first read is Will Mallory, and he looks straight at him, stares him down. The whole defense kind of converges on Will Mallory. He throws the pass. It hits Will Mallory's hands, and it gets ripped straight out. That was the first play on offense. That's what the first pick was.
Yeah, see, that's the one I missed. I saw the second one where the linebacker just jumped the route.
Because TVD was staring down his target.
He does seem to just stare in one direction and then like for 5-10 seconds, and then he throws it right there. It's like, maybe he is a little easy to read. I like the way this would be so much more like easier to do if we actually when we win. It's hard to get on here and talk about how bad we did.
Well, and how much of that, how much of that too is him staring down wide receivers or wide receivers not doing the right thing, and he's stuck staring them down because they're not doing what they're supposed to be doing. Because there were a couple that it was just obvious that a wide receiver was supposed to break in a different direction on the route, and he didn't do it.
I think it's a little bit of both.
Yeah, and Mike Jeezy, that's kind of what I was trying to say earlier. It's taking a loss to a decent team, and getting out there and playing well. It's not that bad to lose, but when you go out there and I don't know one moment in that game where I was happy with the play. There was no. Maybe the return, the punt return, that was great, Yeah. Other than that, there was not any moment where everybody looked in sync, where everybody looked. It was just like the bad news bears going out there, trying to do something. Nobody looked like they had any idea what they were doing. There was no optimism or fight in the players. There was nothing. There was like I have nothing to take away from that game.
There was a few moments. There was a few moments where it seemed like, oh, okay, we got some momentum back. Like the Cam pick early in the game, down 17-13, the kick return touchdown, Jake's first long pass to get down to the goal line. But then immediately we just make terrible plays and give up points, don't do anything on offense, and then Middle Tennessee just gets the momentum back. At the end of the day, it's like we had those little plays, we had chances, like the door cracked open a little bit where it's like, okay, we can get back in the game. Like this is our shot. And then it just slammed shut again.
Right.
Yeah. The defense is that one's puzzling me even more, because as much as we had to say about the defense in the first game, you've seen marked improvement out of the defense in the two games that followed.
Hey, Tim. Tim, thanks for stopping by.
and then this one just leaves me scratching my head, because there ain't a DB or safety on that field that didn't get cooked. There ain't one.
Might as well put a piece of toast out there and it would have been played better.
I know a lot of people are wanting to, point the finger at DJ Ivy, but Cam Kitchens got cooked. Tyreek Stevenson got cooked. Every single one of them got burnt.
Right, and
how is that? Jaden Harris got cooked. 2 freshmen.
Yeah, no, that's. Nobody played good. The entire team was bad. Our punter did pretty good.
And that wasn't even Lou Headley. Where the hell was Lou Headley?
Lou Headley, I saw him there on the sideline, dressed out, but
he held kicks.
I was wondering what was going on with that myself.
The backup didn't do bad. He had good punts.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So hey, there we have something positive we can take away. And the punter, our punt game. Hey guys, anybody want to bring it on? Just we got you on the punt game. Yeah. So that our kicking game was great today. So something to be positive about moving forward.
The only trophy we're gonna win this year is the Ray Guy Award. That's the only thing we're gonna win this year.
Oh, geez. So yeah, I'm curious now to see who starts next week. I'm also looking forward to hearing a press conference from Cristobal. That should be quite interesting.
I think you'll find out quickly who the starting quarterback is next week. And if I had to bet my mortgage on it, they're probably not going to make a change.
So you think they'll go right back to TVD?
More than likely, because I mean, what did Garcia really come in there and do anything to blow anybody away? No, not really.
You know what the most Miami thing possible would be? Is we start TVD and then we go out and beat UNC like 38-24 or something, or like 38-35. And everyone on Twitter is just like, yeah, TVD for Heisman. Let's go, baby. This is our guy, first round pick.
Listen, I still have all the confidence in the world in Van Dyke. There's obviously problems around him. So I don't think it's really going to make much of a difference which quarterback is in there. The offensive line still has problems. There's still problems in the wide receiving core. These people, these guys still don't know the offense.
Yeah, Bangkok nice. That's just kind of true. Last week, our special teams kind of muffed everything up on us, but this week they were on fire. So yeah, like you say, that would be a really Miami way to go. They'll break down again next week, and the defense will be hot, and then if we could just have everything go right for us all at once, but haven't seen that in a while.
And I don't have a whole lot of worry on the secondary getting fixed, because I mean, Adai has literally had elite secondaries everywhere he's been, without exception. So they are going to get better. I have absolutely no doubts of that.
Yeah, I think the team's going to get better as the season goes on. I think this is one of those games they're going to have to lick their wounds, and really, it's an embarrassing loss. Especially, I mean, we think it's an embarrassing loss for us, but we're just fans. They're the ones that actually played the game, so it's going to be a lot more embarrassing on them than it is on us. So they've got something to prove now, and they better prove it. Otherwise, I mean, there's nowhere to go.
It's one of those too. The vast majority of people in here are younger. You and me are old enough to have seen Miami lose these exact kind of games in the mid-'90s too.
Mm-hmm.
It's some people have never seen Miami here and think it's never happened. I've seen it. So it's just it's one of those. I think we have all the right people in place. I think it's just one of those. It takes time to make the team better, and I'm not just talking about recruiting. I'm talking about, like you just said, throughout the season, you're going to see them get better.
Yeah, I mean,
I can't take another year of this shit.
You might have to, but I don't think you'll take 2 more years of it.
Yeah,
it is every year of my life. There's no way this keeps going.
Trust me, after being on top for so many years, this has been a very painful last 17 years of my life. So,
well, just think, there are Miami fans out there older than us that are, old enough to remember before Miami was ever anything.
Oh yeah.
I mean, you have to, but before the, mid to late 70s, I mean, Miami almost went D2. A lot of people forget that. That's how bad they were.
Miami for Life here has a question for you. In the 90s, did we lose to a Conference USA type team? Who would have been a good?
I mean, I would have to. It's been forever since I've looked at, like the 97 schedule. But yeah,
right, exactly. I'm sure there were some of those bad losses there.
Yeah, 95, 96, 97, 98. Well, not so much 95, but 96, 97, 98. And it was really 99 when Butch started to get it turned around. As a matter of fact, it was after an absolute shellacking, because I remember watching the game at Syracuse. I mean, Syracuse thumped Miami like they were nothing.
Yeah, East
And
Carolina, that's one.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
And,
leave it to the comment section. Somebody's got to remember that stuff.
Well, it's like I said, it's been, how long has it been since I've looked at the 97 schedule?
Right, exactly. Exactly. I mean, it's happened. It's going to happen again. And, you know, there's no way, nothing can throw me off the Miami bus. Everybody can say what they want to say or, you know, troll or anything like that. I really don't care because I know we're going to get better again. It's going to happen without a doubt.
They're going to get better as the season goes on. Next year, they're going to have a top 10 roster in the nation after Mario and that staff get done recruiting for this year. And they'll be even better next year.
Even better. You know, if we play Middle Tennessee next year, we're definitely going to win.
I mean, we play A&M and Clemson at home next year, so.
Yeah, there we go. That'll be better. But I mean, yeah, to the point of everybody listening and all that, don't throw the season. You know, don't throw the season away. Don't jump off the bus. There's no point. You've stuck around this long. You can deal with a couple more horrible losses. I don't like them any more than anybody else, but it, you know, a true fan, you know, loves a team when they're up and loves a team when they're down.
Yeah, and like you said, as bad as we're taking it, you know, imagine how bad the team itself is taking it.
Right, those young guys out there, that, you know, that has to be heartbreaking to them to go out there and get embarrassed like this. So, I'm just glad I wasn't at the game, like Hurricane Central. What was it like there? I mean, I thought I could almost hear like boos, you know, over the TV.
Oh, dude,
I had a bar full of people here,
okay,
so it was hard to hear.
So like the game started, you know, people, little hype. It wasn't that full because of the rain. Even though what's great is, I'll say this about Hard Rock, the roof they have. Last year, I was there during the rain game at Virginia Tech, and we were like row 2, right behind the bench, and the rain still didn't hit us. So that was great. But yeah, like it wasn't really that full. After the second pick, everyone was like, okay, what's going on? And then after that, just every missed throw, every play that we would give up, boos on boos. Like they were out loud here today, even though there was only like maybe 40,000 people there. It sounded like there was 100,000 people booing.
Yes, I could hear it on the TV, and it sounded pretty.
And when Middle Tennessee State went up 31-10, a lot of people started leaving, and I even turned to my friend and I was like, "Yo, I want to get the hell out of here. I don't want to do this anymore." And he was like, "No, let's stick around. And then we made it like 38-24 with the kickoff return, and then we immediately went ahead and gave up a touchdown, and that's when I left after that. And you know, Jake came in and everyone was on their feet, standing ovation. He got the big play, standing ovation. We went crazy after the touchdown. Then we had that one good defensive sequence after that where we got the back-to-back sacks and forced the 3-and-out, and everyone was hyped for that. And then everything just deflated after the goal line stand on 4th and 1. Which, how does Middle Tennessee State get a freaking goal line stand on us? How?
Middle Tennessee State stand to me is the epitome of what was wrong. Because here's the thing: even if Mallory had caught that ball, he wouldn't have landed in the end zone. He ran it completely wrong. These guys are taught how to, you know, on a fade like that, fall into the end zone. So he fell completely wrong. And there's no excuse for that out of Mallory because he's been there 5 years.
No, and on first down, we ran the little halfback dive up the middle and got from like the 4 to the 2 to the 1. And we were like, okay. And then he gains half a yard on third down, gets stuffed. And they ran the same play with Michael Redding out wide, and he just runs in motion and gets near the box. And it's like everyone in the building knows what you're doing. They all know. And on top of that, your offensive line can't push Middle Tennessee State, the college football powerhouse known as the Blue Raiders, who have a 3-0 record against your Miami Hurricanes. We couldn't push them off the line.
No, that they controlled the line of scrimmage. They controlled. I mean, that they absolutely dominated that football game. They made us look horrible.
Like I said to my friend, I was like, if you told me the score was 45-24, I would think we had 45, and I would be like, man, why did we give up 24 points?
Exactly.
That's what I would think. I was like, what went wrong that we gave up 24 points? There's no excuse. And there's really no excuse to give up 45 points to Middle Tennessee State and a 99-yard touchdown and a 71-yard touchdown and an 89-yard touchdown. But, I'm just
Thanks for reminding us.
Yeah, thanks again.
Hey,
now you
if I had to be there and I had to be in pain, I'm gonna put you through it too, bro.
Hey, at least I know the only game I've got tickets to so far this season is Clemson. So if we lose there, at least I can walk away and go, okay, we lost to Clemson.
I was walking out the stadium, going down the little ramp. I took off my jersey. I took off my jersey, and it's my Sean Taylor jersey, and I was like, Sean Taylor would be ashamed of this goddamn performance right now. I was over it, man. I was so done. I was so mad.
What's Miami for Life wants to know? I forget the mustache guy's name.
Aaron Feld.
Yeah, Aaron Feld. Yeah, I like that guy. He's pretty cool.
He does have the most impressive mustache in college football. I'll
yeah,
give him that.
Yeah, it's pretty.
I mean, why is he asking? Does he want to blame the strength and conditioning coach? I mean, this isn't on him.
It really isn't. I mean, you can only pack so much weight on the guys in an off season. I mean, because perfect example, we saw it when Zion Nelson came in his freshman year. They packed 50 pounds on him, and he looked like crap. Because your body has to acclimate to all that extra weight.
Hey, we got
James. Sorry about that.
We got King James trolling in the comments section.
I know.
Fan.
He's actually pretty funny. I've been reading the comments. Yeah. I've actually been laughing. I like a good troll. I mean, as long as people keep it clean and do that, I think it's funny.
He's not
I'm still wearing my jersey.
I still got my hat on.
Sadly, it's Canes for life.
Canes for life, guys. Canes for life. I've been doing it for 40 something years, so it just is what it is. But like we said, it's move forward.
Yeah, learn from it.
All we can do is put this behind us.
Everything we saw is fixable, but a lot of it, yes, is on the coaches. And rightfully so, but a lot of it's on the players too. These players have got to be out there putting in the work on their own when the coaches aren't there or when the coaches can't be there. Because the coaches are only allowed around the players like 20 hours a week. That's by NCAA rule.
Right.
And, you're not going to get, perfect example, you're not going to get a Heisman Trophy winning wide receiver like Alabama had, only working that 20 hours a week them coaches are around. I guarantee you he put in hours upon hours upon hours of work on his own or with teammates when the coaches aren't there.
Bet says I need a new hat. Yeah, you can send me one, buddy. You can send me a new hat. I do probably need one. Yeah, I don't know how, it's hard to lick these wounds, but that's all we got to do. And I see us, we can still have a positive season. Let's just hope they get these, they got to get their heads back on straight.
I mean, a lot of people are saying this, and I think one change we can make is, TVD really excelled last year when we were running a lot of RPO. And I think we should try to incorporate more of that because it plays to his strength of making that quick read and either pulling the ball or throwing either giving the ball or throwing the pass.
And that's why I disagreed with you. That's why I disagreed with you early on about, TVD not being able to read defenses. You have to in an RPO, and you have to be able to read them quickly.
I didn't say he couldn't read. I just said he often goes to his first read because I think it's just I really don't know what it is. But a lot of times you just watch the game and you say, yeah, like he just you watch it and his head immediately turns to either the right side or the left side, wherever the receiver he's going to is, and he just darts it there. It's not that he can't read, it's just a lot of times he doesn't bother reading the defense. Because we saw it last year. You have to do that in RPO. You have to be able to read the defense.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's the good thing with RPO. When you're faking the handoff, you're basically reading what the safeties are doing. Is really all you're doing. Either the safeties or the linebackers, depending on the formation the defense is in. And if you can get them to bite on the run, you snatch it back out from that running back and you dump it to wherever the hole is in their defense.
And Richmond, I think there is a lot to be said about what you say there. He doesn't fit into the offense that we're trying to run. And that's why in time, I think we'll see a lot of improvements if we stick with his offense. I'm not a big fan of that offense. To me, it is boring. But if it wins us football games, then I'll start liking it. But Tyler Van Dyke doesn't fit well with that style of offense that we're running.
Well, and here's my problem with that. And I don't necessarily disagree that Tyler Van Dyke may not necessarily fit into the style of offense that we're running. But my problem with that statement is this. If you're wanting to go be a first-round NFL draft pick, you're gonna fit into whatever offense you get drafted into, and you better figure it out. So that's why I don't have a whole lot of time for the argument of, well, he doesn't necessarily fit. You better adapt your skill set to make it fit if you want to continue being a football player.
Right, but I would say that NFL, a lot of coaches do try to use. You would think that they would try to use what they have in the best way that they can use it.
Well,
maybe they looked at
this
game as kind of a. Maybe they did. I have trouble saying they were looking past this game because next week's a bye week. But maybe they were thinking that overconfident about this game, thinking, oh, we can go out there, run this, try to get more practice in running this offense, and before they knew it, we were down 14 or whatever it was, 10-0, 17-0. All of a sudden you're looking there going, oh, holy cow! Now everybody's deflated. The fans are booing you. It's a no-win situation.
You're basically stuck in quicksand at that point. The more you fight against it, the deeper you sink.
Right, and I'm not a big fan of booing your own team. Like that doesn't really do anything to help their self-esteem or anything like that. When the fans
believe
are booing.
Me, I don't. The last game I went to was a Tampa game in 2019 with Jameis Winston where he threw 4 interceptions. And as annoyed as I wasn't sitting there booing him.
Right, I'm just not a big fan of that. Not that I wasn't yeah, exactly. Not that I wasn't booing him from my own house, but he couldn't hear me. So I wasn't there, so he couldn't hear me.
I bet you were doing a lot more than booing. I'll say that.
No, to be honest, I was sitting there with my uncle and my cousin, all Miami fans, and we were at that point just laughing. It was like, oh my gosh, here we go again.
Yeah, what else can you do at that point?
Right, you get used to it after like I said, 17 years of watching us lose after watching us be on top for so many years. It's just like, okay, here we go again. Go Canes.
I just don't understand how we gave up so many big plays.
Yeah, we got absolutely burned on those passes, a couple of those big passes that I was like, gee whiz, I don't know what to say.
You could have put a pee-wee football team out there and they would have given you better coverage than that.
Bro, very, very likely.
And like I said, that's the baffling part to me about this game. The offense, okay, you can point, they're having problems, but the defense has kind of been a strength so far this year. The secondary has played exceptionally well. That's been the better part of the defense this year, has been the secondary. And I just don't get it. I really don't. I mean, if you got burned on one play or one busted coverage, okay, that happens. That happens to everybody.
Yeah, but not over and over and over again.
It was the same play over and
Go
over
route.
again.
Go route.
Yeah. And there's no reason that Middle Tennessee should have speed that you can't keep up with. None.
You know,
And to Middle Tennessee, I'm not sure what the guy's name was, but that one receiver they had, that guy was fast. I mean,
Yeah, he was.
I don't know who he is, but
the little short one.
Yeah, that caught every ball thrown at him and outran us by like.
Their quarterback threw for like 400 yards. Hold up, let me pull this up.
Yeah, I've got it right here in front of me.
He threw for 408 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 pick, 16 of 25. He only threw 25 passes.
Right, in 400.
Middle Tennessee had 507 yards of offense.
Whoever that receiver was that looked like the
Peasant?
Flash, we need to be recruiting him instead of like offer him a scholarship right now. Whoever he is, let's get him down to Miami.
DJ England Chisholm.
Yeah.
2 receptions, 169 yards, 2 touchdowns.
Right. I mean, the guy was like, he was lightning.
He had a Randy Moss game. You know that game Randy Moss had the 3 touchdowns?
Well, he's kind of like that. He's kind of like that Louisville receiver from a couple of years ago, Tutu Atwell.
Yeah.
I mean, just nobody could cover him at all. I mean, he might have been 5 foot tall, but nobody. I mean, he was running 4.140s out there with pads on.
Yeah, that is crazy though. Yeah, I'm looking at it too right now. 2 receptions, 169 yards. He averaged 84.5 yards. So all you got to do is get him to catch the ball, and nobody can catch him, and he can run it. He can run it. And the guy, yeah, we need to be recruiting him.
We need to recruit him, and we need to recruit the other receiver, Brownlee, from the Southern Miss game that also torched us for like 100-something yards. We need both of them.
Yeah, I totally agree. Let's get him. Let's get him.
And that's something I'll put on Kevin Steele. You know, when you saw, you know, your backs are susceptible to these guys on the go routes, why you don't have over-the-top safety help is beyond me.
Yeah, I don't know. We totally self-destructed that game. That was just, it was horrible.
I mean, that's like not putting a safety over the top to help out with Tyreek Hill. That's just foolish.
I just look back at the play and the 99-yard touchdown. You know, they had DJ Ivy covering him.
Yep.
Yeah.
They had DJ Ivy covering him, and he was in almost press coverage right there.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, that guy, we just got outplayed on both ends of the football.
That just proves DJ Ivy will never be Darrelle Revis.
But hey, like I said earlier, our punt game was lit. So, got to take something good from this. Got to take something good.
No, yeah, and just terrible cover. Like I'm watching it back, and DJ Ivy starts just fully turns his hips towards the outside, and he just takes one step towards the inside, and boom, he's open.
Yeah.
That's all he did. Like I'm watching it back, and he just fully faces the sideline. He had no shot at getting to that football.
Yeah, I want to say the early one was Ivy, one was Kitchens, if I'm not mistaken, and I think the other one was Tyreek Stevenson.
Hold on, I'm trying to look through the little ESPN highlights to see who's at fault for all of these.
I wish we were like allowed by YouTube to actually like put the plays up here and we could watch them on, but that you're not allowed to do that.
I've seen some people do that and some people not. I don't know what's up with that.
Yeah, but we don't want to lose Mark money, so
no, we're not doing it. But yeah. I was saying I wish we could.
I'm just saying it's something worth looking at, somebody looking into to find out how some of them get away with it. And
yeah, I'm not sure. I think maybe at that point they just give up their monetization.
I mean, I wonder how all of that like film review stuff works with like Wholesome One and Rowe from OBB, because they got like their whole video is just the game. It's just game footage.
Yeah, and that's what I mean by it. Like, well, there's somebody else I watch as far as NFL games, and he does his own commentary over the games.
Well, yeah, I think it's probably like if you have it and you're on the screen as well, talking, reviewing something. So there's ways to get around it, but you can't just play them with their voices going. Like you can't replay the game basically. But Richard
like
Hill
I said,
says
there
he still
are
trusts
rules
Mario.
to it.
I do too, Richard.
Oh, I do as well. I think anybody would be foolish not to.
Yeah, I mean we're going to get better. Things are going to get better. I'm not giving up, not at all.
Oh yeah, I forgot real quick. There was also a 69-yard touchdown pass. Nice. That I think was on the little screen. So just add another one there. What is that? Four touchdowns of over 60 yards against Middle Tennessee State.
And that one, they had him dead to rights, and he somehow squirmed out of it. So that's bad tackling, rearing its ugly head again.
Oh, God. Right. No, man, I can't do this. I can't do another year of bad tackling and corners getting burnt and bad quarterback play to start the year. I can't do it. I can't do it, man.
I mean, I'm not, like I said, if it's a play here and there, I mean, there ain't a corner that's ever played football that hadn't got burnt.
Yeah.
King James, thanks for keeping me laughing.
Where?
Like reading all your, it's just all his comments. It's just like the eternal troll. It's like, oh my gosh, reading every one of them. Yeah, and yeah, we are still awful at tackling. That's one thing that, and it's going to improve as these new players start coming in. Next year, I think we've got, as long as they don't decommit now. That's what we got to really. Hope.
That's what I saw people saying. It's like, oh, it's decommitment time. People are going to start decommitting from Miami.
Yeah, hopefully not, but I think he'll keep him there. I mean, there's a lot of positive things. I think that the players sticking together, looking at it, going, "Hey, well, if I was in there, I could have caught this ball." And like Slim said earlier, I mean, you're going to be able to go out there and tell people, even freshmen, like, "Hey, come here, look what we have. We need you. You'll be starting."
Well, and everybody assumes,
hey man, we're trash. You could come in and be a starter day one.
Exactly.
Everybody assumes it's decommitment time too. I mean, and I realize nobody wants to say anything good about Maney, but Maney secured a top 15 class with a 6-6 record.
Right.
6 and 7, but yeah. So just to make it a little bit more impressive.
Yeah, thanks.
Well, I'm just talking about the regular season. I mean, I realize nobody wants to say anything good, but the man was able to recruit even with a bad record. So if he's able to do that, I don't have any worries about any kind of class falling apart with Mario.
Yeah, I'm not worried.
I mean, he got guys to come to a 4-8 Oregon.
Yeah, very true.
Is this a joke? FSU getting all the 5 stars now? You got 1 5-star. What are you talking about? That's your first 5-star since 2017. I don't understand.
Well, let FSU have their moment. They think they're winning a national title because they're 3-0.
Yeah, aren't they playing right now?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, they're playing Boston College.
Oh, what's the score there?
I know they returned a kick for a touchdown. I saw that.
Oh, nice.
I don't know. Is that a commercial?
Hold up. Okay. I'm looking at 21-0. Jesus.
Oh wow. And they to their credit, they look a lot better this year.
After the first quarter, the first quarter just ended and it's 21-0.
They look better, and Boston College looks 10 times worse than preseason predictions.
Oh yeah, they look like a dumb.
I mean,
there
was Boston College was like getting some dark horse hype to win the Atlantic, but they come out this season and they said, "Nope, psych, gotcha."
I mean, I just want to say this about FSU real quick, like that whole thing of them being back. I know I can't say anything right now because we just lost again to Middle Tennessee State, but first of all, don't be talking crap about Miami fans being like, the U is back, the U is back, the U is back. Because one, we don't do that. The media does. Like, there's probably some Miami fans that do that, but the majority of Miami fans don't do that. And two, who have they really beaten? That's all I'm just going to say and leave the FSU talk.
An LSU team that struggled to win 10 games in 2 seasons.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. So did Florida State struggle to win 10 games in 2 seasons?
They struggled to win 6 games. They haven't had a winning season since 2017.
No.
And they went like
So-
7-6.
Oh God, this guy's cracking me up. FS, who ain't played nobody? Yeah, exactly. Oh yeah, all of this. Who have we beaten? Yeah, nobody. But we will. We're gonna come out there in 2 weeks and beat UNC. It's gonna happen, no doubt in my mind.
Like I said, the most Miami thing ever. TVD starts, he throws for 350 yards, 4 touchdowns, and then everyone's like, "Oh my God, Tyler Van Dyke's a Heisman candidate." That's what's gonna happen.
Oh yeah, of course.
I'll just say he's back to not having a bad day.
I mean, you're a realist, so you're gonna say that. Twitter is a little fantasy land where
I love Twitter.
everything gets overblown.
You gotta love Twitter.
Yeah, I could only imagine the meltdowns on Twitter right now. They have to be epic.
Oh no, I was looking during the game and it was beautiful. It was honestly hilarious.
Yeah, that's funny. Well, listen, guys, I've got 3 racks of ribs to eat and some more football to watch. I think we've covered about everything we can about this horrible game. Either one of you got anything that you want to add in? Closing words here.
I think I've said all I need to say.
What about you, Hurricane Central?
I'm just gonna go order some pizza and watch football. That's what I'm gonna do.
Yeah, there's not a lot to Hey, thanks, Richard. Thanks. It's hard to get up here after a loss, especially after a humiliating one. It's not the easiest thing, but
yeah, appreciate that, Richard.
Yeah, but hey, you know, we're trying to keep our spirits high and have fun with this, regardless whether we win or lose.
Yeah.
But yeah, guys, thanks for joining us. Hurricane Central, how do people find you?
Instagram, Hurricane Central, as you see it there. And then I'm gonna try to start live streaming this week, either Wednesday or Thursday nights. Talk about the game, just talk some Hurricanes football. Maybe if you guys want to join me on some of those streams, direct some traffic my way, that'd be great.
Hey, hit me up on that. I'll jump on there with you.
All right, perfect.
I would say you would probably be best to do it on a Thursday night, if Thursday evening, and just to get more traffic. Just as far as I know, with the college football community, who other people streaming.
Yeah, I just don't want to do it on Friday because I know Coop does the night before stream.
Right.
Although this week he won't do it because it's a bye week, but still.
Yeah, I would recommend Thursday night.
There's so many people. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there's 47 Miami Hurricanes YouTube channels.
Yeah, you can't worry about stepping on anybody else's toes, but at the same time, I would think I could drive more traffic your way if it was on a Thursday night.
Yeah.
Hit me up. Let me know anytime. Anytime I'll jump on there. And anybody that cares to ever hear anything else about what I have to say or watch any of our goofy travel videos or come play trivia late at night, Traveling Fools here on YouTube and on Twitter as well. Slim, you really don't have any social media, do you? Oh, you do have a YouTube page, so go type in Slim Shady Canes.
I've got a YouTube page, and every once in a while I upload a pointless, barely watchable video.
There you go. So you know where to find all of us. We'll all be sitting in our little corners with our heads in the sand for the rest of the night, eating cold pizza and
and whooping on Middle Tennessee State and NC-14. That's what I'm
right, exactly. I'm gonna go play Middle Tennessee State on the Xbox for the rest of the night.
You'll only be doing that for another year. Next year you'll have a new game to do that on.
Oh, I'm not buying that crap. EA's making that. I'm not buying that.
Well, of course they are. They're going to make it forever, just like the old one.
That's funny. I love those games. But yeah, guys. Well, thanks for jumping on here and helping me sit here and make up excuses and cry. Everybody wants to talk about the excuses. But yeah, everybody listening, thank you very much for taking your time to tune in to the Voice of College Football's Miami post-game show. We will be back here after the North Carolina game in 2 weeks. Until then, thanks for being a Miami fan. We'll still keep our heads up, and it's still all about the U here, even if we didn't win. We're coming back. Thanks a lot, everybody listening. We'll see you soon.